5 is alive. Alright, landing at my beautiful, massive settlement called Drakkster's Forge. Gonna be hauling some materials. And I'm gonna be talking about colonization a lot. I have ideas I'm gonna throw out there. Hopefully, people come on and share those ideas or comment on those ideas. But rationale behind all this is trying to make gameplay better, more fun, and less stressful. And it seems to me that there's stuff created. There's colonization. There's power play. There's things out there, but it needs to be tweaked. Needs to become user friendly. Needs to become community friendly, because the hardcore gamers like Mekin and the Axe group and a few other people are not the only ones playing the game. And eventually, honestly, knowledge of the past, they usually quit and they move on because they don't see change that they want. And so they decide, I'm going to quit. There's nothing more for me here. Meanwhile, those who are like me, and I wouldn't say I'm a hardcore gamer, but I like and love this game so much. I play it all the time. And, but I play everything and take everything in stride. It's not just one thing. It's not going to be just Thargoids. It's not going to be just power play. It's not going to be just colonization. It's everything. So here am I. I'm loading CMM composites for the dodec that we're building out there. Jack is helping me. He's out unloading aluminum. We finished steel and titanium, and now we decided to do this. So I have a lot of CMM composites to do, about 50,000 tons, and that's a daunting task, but I should be able to finish in a couple of days. I'm not going to rush it. Thanks to Jack, Phaser Ruddock, thanks to him, he's actually taken a lot of stress off my back. And so it's going to be a lot easier to finish this construction. So if you're listening, Jack, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Of course, your name will go up in lights, and any more that I can do, that'll be great. I'll help you wherever you want me to help you, by the way. Now, the mission is to finish Promontory Summit 1869 station, and I named it after the momentous occasion when the East met the West in the United States, where the railroad became one and the Transcontinental Railroad was established. At that time, right now, we don't talk a lot about that, but that was a momentous occasion because they didn't have to use stagecoaches anymore. They didn't have to cross land on foot. So they had a railroad now that can go east to west. And it connected the two hubs, the east and west hubs. So basically, this momentous occasion is just that I started building about almost a year ago at... I started building at Nova Aquila 3 and the Snake Nebula, and now I met the two sides together at this junction, and basically there is a lot of colonization you can do off this bridge that has been designed for the community. The only benefit I have of building this bridge is that it was therapeutic. That's about it. You don't make much money. No one's gonna pat you on the back and say good job. But people that want to colonize will be able to colonize off of it. So that's a good thing. So when I'm doing CMM composites, I'm going to be doing the escape pod method. It's always the escape pod method coming from this ground station, the Drakkster's Forge. Reason being is the fastest way. It takes about 5 minutes to actually execute the procedure, and I can do that at least 12 times, well, let's say 11 times in an hour. So in about an hour and a half or two, I can have the fleet carrier full with CMM composites. At least one fleet carrier, because I need to do at least two to get the full load. After that, I'll be doing the small mounts, and then the Promontory Summit 1869 will be finished. I'm gonna post a post on the forums. I'll make a video about it. You know, talk about the history. Maybe I can get Kix to do it, because he's a big history buff. He can actually talk more about it. And after that, I'm gonna form some hubs on the bridge so that people can do colonization off those hubs, and that will be the next thing that I will do. Lastly, tritium depots. I'm gonna make some tritium depots going up to Colonia every 4,200 light years, so that if you decide to travel to Colonia, you don't have to take tritium with you. You don't have to pack a lunch. All you have to do is stop at the tritium depots, fuel up, and move on. And if you know, all you need to do is about 1,000 tons, and you're full. That's about 5 minutes. So there won't be waiting and lagging and mining and whatever. So that'll be my final mission, because eventually I want to move to Colonia. Some of my squadron carriers, fleet carriers and characters, and start building some stuff up there. Maybe build a secondary hub for our squadron. So here we are. Hello, Moses. Hydra. What's up, buddy? So I'm just hauling CMM composites. I'll be doing that for this part of the session. I'll be talking about colonization, what I think some improvements, what I think they should do. There's a lot of chatter and people are screaming and yelling about NPCs, and I take the side of FDev. Unfortunately for the players, this is the opinion I have. Because knowing how to code and knowing the problems they're having with the Cobra game engine, basically they kind of have their hands tied. They can't really do major things when it comes to this module, right? So my opinion is that whatever they do has to be simple, okay? Has to be simple, has to be fast, has to be something that doesn't kind of affect other game components. So now I am gonna disembark. I'm gonna go and run to the escape pod, and I'm gonna do the escape pod method. Okay. Colonization is a little tedious, especially when you're doing something massive like a Dodec. That's what we're doing right now. Jack is helping me, Kix helped me, Jeezy helped me, Joey helped me. Everybody pitched in a little bit, mostly Jack, and basically now we are halfway to finishing the Dodec. It's a daunting task because it requires so much to haul. It requires a lot of materials, and so one single person can do it if he dedicates every waking hour that he's going to play Elite Dangerous to only doing that. Okay? Unfortunately, squadrons did not have the effect I believe they were hoping for, and you don't have full-blown squadrons that are participating. There is no internal squadron kind of missions that you can do. My understanding was that Vanguard was supposed to be, we can make our own missions in the squadron, and that would fuse the relationship between, teammates. But we never got to do that. There's no missions in the squadron. You can't form any missions. So, there isn't really participation per se when you're doing this colonization. You might get some, but not 100%. I'm lucky that I have a good group and these guys want to help, and I've helped them too. But if I didn't have or the Order of the Dragon, I would be by myself trying to build a Dodec, and that's a daunting task, and probably would not do it at all. So gameplay, I would lose gameplay. I wouldn't be able to build the Dodec. I would lose the gameplay. Okay, because I'm solo. So I know what you're saying. Oh, you got squadron, you can help out, or you can go online where these guys are paid to haul for you. Well, I don't know if you noticed the prices, but they're very exuberant. More than 3, 4, 5, 7 billion to build a I don't know how much it costs to build a Dodec, but I've heard it's very high up there. And so you're only going to get one chance to do that, and all your money's gone. So there are methods you can go online that you can get into these Discord channel groups, and they will help you haul, but they require a hefty payout, a lot of money. Okay, so if you don't have it, you're not going to get the help. Period. That's just the way it is. So what's the solution? What's the solution? Well, first and foremost, I have to think when I'm giving you guys ideas and solutions, and I know FDev actually listens. I know Burpit listens sometimes. When I give solutions, I have to think the simplest solution possible, something that FDev can sit down and actually do, something that the coders won't vomit and go crazy because they have to do all this work. So this solution would be an easy one for the sake of the whole community, right? So that people can benefit from it, solo player, multiplayers, or group players, whatever. Everyone's going to be able to benefit from it. So what's the solution to this? Well, they don't seem adamant about reducing the amount of material to haul. That's the first thing. That's the first thing that's come up on the forums. No one really is happy about the amounts that is being hauled, and I think they have reduced slightly, 5%. I've seen some changes, but not by much. Not by much. The amounts to build high-end ones, T3s, and the Dodec, I'm going to call the Dodec the T4 because there's a lot more material than the T3, is crazy. It really is crazy. It's a lot of materials. So you're solo. How long will it take to build a Dodec if you're solo? Well, Mekin has estimated, Commander Mekin, which I tease a lot because he likes to destroy content in the game. Commander Mekin says 60 hours. 60 hours. Okay. 60 hours means at least if you're playing every single day, that means 2 hours a day minimum to finish the Dodec. And that's impossible. You're not going to be playing every single day. You're not me. I'm arthritic, so I get to stay home a lot. You're not going to play every single day, and you might not even have 2 hours when you do play. Okay? So if you take on the massive undertaking of building a Dodec, there's a need to actually plan ahead and say, okay, I'm going to do 5 hours, this many days, or 4 hours this many days, etc. So you need to plan. You need to plan ahead. You don't have a squadron per se. Let's say you don't have a squadron. You don't have people to help you. You're by yourself. You just started the game, and you want to build a Dodec because it's so pretty. Okay? And we're past that buying phase that you have to buy the Dodec. We're past that. We're past that right now. Let's say they've launched it already, and you can build it, right? Okay. Well, it's daunting. You're not going to be able to. As a matter of fact, the T3s and the Dodec will be impossible for you to build without any kind of substantial help. And if you do it by yourself, you will be amazingly stressed out to try to finish it. Okay, so the most you probably can do as a solo player is a T2, is an Osceolas. Okay, is an Osceolas. So, is that good? Yeah, it's still good. It's still a good. It's still a good station, but it's not a Dodec. It doesn't give you the high tech. It doesn't give you a lot of other things. So, the Coriolis, I mean, not Osceolas. Coriolis is just not going to be maybe an all-around good fit most of the time. Some of the times you're going to want to build a tech station, a T3 or a Dodec. You're not going to get that chance because they're too big. They're too big. So too time-consuming. And here is the issue. The initial construction takes so many hours. The initial construction takes so many hours, and the more people you have, takes less hours. Okay? 1 second, please. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. A little bit of a issue. I forgot about a test I had to do, but I'm not going to anyway. Yes, I am colonizing dirt. Sucks. I am. I'm loading for a Dodec. I'm loading CMM composites, doing the escape pod method. Okay, so going back to what I was saying about time constraints. When you're doing an initial construction, you are given 30 days to claim your stake, right? You're given 30 days to finish the construction, the initial construction. But and let's just take it in a sense of one person. You're one person, solo. Let's just take the solo player. I'm not talking about Meccan's group, the XI, or the Fatherhood who has 600 people. I'm talking about one person who just started the game and he wants to build something. You're given 30 days, whether it's a T1, a T2, a T3, or a Dodec. No matter what construction, what size, you're given the same amount of time to finish that construction. Okay. The solution to this grind that we're facing under colonization it is still going to be a grind. They don't want to change the numbers, so we're not going to protest and jump up and down and say, "Hey, give us less materials." To it doesn't matter. They gave us the Panther Clipper. We can do a lot with the Panther Clipper, and actually we can haul more. So there really isn't any change in the amount of materials we're gonna transport, but we can they can change the amount of time they give us to complete the construction. Like for instance, the T1 and the T2, the Coriolis, can be done within 30 days, can be done within a week, no problem. But the T3 takes longer, and the Dodec takes even longer. You know, Megan says 60 hours. That's a long time. But if I'm giving 60 days, that's not as long. Okay, that is comfortable. So I can fit the actual Dodec in 60 days of construction. But I'm really gonna be constrained if it's 30 days of construction. Do you see what I'm saying? So my solution is simple. Very, very simple. Extend the time. The T1, the T2 remains the same, but the T3 extend to 45 days and the Dodec to 60 days. It's pure and simple. And it will give us more time to actually finish the construction, and we don't have to stress. We don't have to stress out. If we have people help us, great. If we don't, okay, we can do it solo. And I'm focused on the solo player, because when I come play this game, I'm not thinking of joining a multiplayer faction or squadron or anything in the beginning. I'm thinking about playing by myself. So you want to sell, FDev, you want to sell this game to people, you have to focus on a solo player first, before you focus on the group, before you start listening to Mekin and his cult, or before you start listening to the Fatherhood or PTN or anybody else. You have to think about the new player coming in, and he has to have equal footing with everyone else. So if they extend the amount of time that we can build the Dodec or build the T3, okay, I think it'll alleviate some of the stress about the build. Even though it's still the same, there's still the same amount of materials, and there's still we still have the Panther Clipper to do that in. We have more time to build the initial construction. I'm only talking about the initial construction, not after the fact, not after you've claimed the system. Okay, after that you have all the time in the world. Okay, I know what you're saying. Hey, why don't you just build a T1? Why though? The first one's free. It doesn't have any construction points. So building a T3 and a Dodec makes sense. There's no construction points needed. So the most massive station could be that first one, and it won't be any construction points. So my solution to this stress, the grind, is extend the time. Right? Extend the time. 07 Jack, how you doing, buddy? Extend the time so that you have more time to build a T3, more time to build a Dodec. The T2 and the T1 can remain the same. It doesn't take that long to actually build. Even if you just chill, within a week you're done with either. So that's my solution to that. Now there's a lot of chatter on forums about NPCs hauling. That we should get NPCs to haul. Why can't I get NPCs to do that? They're not going to do that. There are too many steps, and too many ways to actually hack those steps to do something different. So they're not going to do that. Let me explain. An NPC is going to fly your ship, gather your materials, fly it to the station, deliver it. Every step is a click, right? Every step is an action. There are ways of hacking that. Okay? So, and then they have to develop the program to actually do that. And mind you, there's going to be glitches, there's going to be bugs. Okay? And so it just won't work. There is no simple, easy solution for an NPC to fly your ship, deliver materials, etc. It just won't work. It's not going to happen. So basically, that idea, I like thought about it, and all the clicking and all the movement and the loading and unloading, they're doing it automatic. The game it will be doing it automatically, right? There's room to hack that kind of system, and there's a lot of room to actually cause a bunch of bugs in the game. So I doubt that they will do that ever. Have an NPC actually do your job. Okay? But my solution is basically simple. Extend the time. You have more time in the beginning to build the initial construction. And you'll see a lot more T2s and T3s and Dodecs, T4s, than you will T1s if we had more time, I believe. Okay. Now I'm going to go into the realm of pay to play, because there's a lot of chatter about this game turning into a pay to play. And in my thought, that will never happen. It'll never become pay to play. If anything, I believe it'll become pay to skip. And that's one of our friends in Squadron. He actually came up with the term pay to skip. Pay to skip. So what does that mean? Well, now I have a T1, T2, T3, T4, and with arcs I can skip the construction completely. Now, will people take advantage of that? Of course they will. They'll buy hundreds of these prepaid stations. Okay? Why is that bad? There isn't anything bad to it. You don't get any benefit from building a Dodec. My Dodec is named, even the city's named Drakkster's Forge, but it's the Dukes of Myken. They're the ones who are owning it. They're the ones who are running it. I'm not running it. I have no benefit in having this station other than I have a place I can buy the materials. That's it. So, building a Dodec, it's your money you want to throw out the window. That's it. The 50,000 arcs is a loss. As I see it, the only beneficiary is the community. That's it. It's been said that they're gonna help with your population and increases whatever. I haven't made more money in this system that the Dodec's in since I built the Dodec. I make the same. A few times my system was in boom, I did get more money, but that's because it was in boom. Otherwise, I don't see a benefit for the Dodec, none whatsoever, or the T3s, or even T2s. You don't have a dedicated hangar, a dedicated apartment, a storage facility for your stuff, somewhere you can swap materials like you can on a squadron carrier. There's nothing. So you get no benefit except you just built it. You don't even put your faction's name on it. The factions that is here gets to name the location. So there's no ownership per se in this wonderful, beautiful colonization system they came up with. No ownership whatsoever. You're just a hauler and a builder, but you don't get to own anything. You own nothing and you're happy. Yes. So that's the situation with that. So, in my opinion, if it causes no ripple, and I have no benefit from it, why can't I pay to skip the 60 hours of hauling? And here's my thinking, okay? Here's my thinking. Let's just take a round number of $20 an hour. Okay, you're a low end retail person, you're making $20 an hour. In 60 hours, okay, in 60 hours, you've made $1,200 in 60 hours. And forget about overtime and anything like that, right? In 60 hours, you've made $1,200. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to pay 30 so you can skip 60 hours of work? Is it worth it? And I say to you, it is. I say it is. It should be part of gameplay. It should be part of gameplay. I can, if I want to, just go on a fucking crazy buying spree and just go dodec. Just keep building. Just go straight down the line, 10 systems, and just build a bunch of dodecs. But that's not gameplay. That's not really gameplay. That's just throwing my money down the toilet. Remember, you have no benefits as a system architect to build anything. Just money. You get some cash. You get credits. And you can make more in a conflict zone than you can on a weekly basis from your construction. So you should be able to click to bypass the 60 hours, the 40 hours, the 50 hours of construction. If you cannot finish it, if you cannot, you don't have the help, and you started it, you're 50% in, you got 3 days left on the dodec, I would say, yeah, click the button, pay the 50,000 arcs, and keep building, keep going. Move on, keep going forward. But I would say do it for everyone, every installation, including a T1. But T1 would be 5,000. But I don't. I want to skip to go to this other system. Boom, I build it, I move on. Okay? So why would I want to do that? Well, it just eliminates the grind. It eliminates the grind. So the two solutions I have is extend the time period needed to build the initial construction. For higher end stations, you spend more time building it. So instead of 30 days for T3, you have 45 or 60 days. And the second thing is pay to skip. Pay to skip every single construction that require a ground a ground T3, which is the second hardest thing to build. I want to pay to skip. Why not? Okay, but only those that are population things, not necessarily like a refinery or an industrial hub or anything like that. You don't need to skip those. You can build those yourselves. I'm just saying the large populated habitable cities and T2s, T3s, etc. So that would be my solution for this amazing grind that is colonization. It does turn people off. A lot of people have quit doing it. Personally, I find it therapeutic. So even though if I had bypass capability, I'd still probably finish the dodec by myself. And because for me it's therapeutic. It gives me peace. It gives me peace. So here I am, building the dodec. I'm doing cement composites. My buddy Jack Phaser Ruddock is doing aluminum. We finished titanium, we finished steel, we finished the oxygen. We did some other things. We had other people help us, but we're still at 54%. So, even though we had people help, it's a daunting task. It's a daunting task, and I think putting these things in the game is not going to hurt the game. You know, and the only thing I can say to Mekin and a bunch of people who are selfish, you have to think about the new player, Mekin. You got to think about the new player, Yamak, coming into the game not knowing what he's facing, and he's got a bunch of grind and stuff that it's put in his face, and he wants to still play, but he has to do this grind now. So I'm thinking about this new player that's going to be coming into this game. We got to think about these people because we want them to come. We want this game to grow. And if it stops growing and it becomes a personal playground for Mekin and Yamek, it's not going to be a good game. I don't want to play their style. I actually hate the way Yamek plays, and I hate the way Mekin plays. I don't like their style. I hate it. Okay? But maybe somebody else likes it, so they play that way too, right? In any case, I think these things should be available. They should be available. So, I know I'm saying a lot, I'm ranting, but I know that FDev listens to these casts, and I know Burpit listens, so hopefully the message goes out there. I have nothing bad to say about pay to skip. It's not pay to play. It's not pay to win. There is no benefit from building a Dodec or building a T3. There's no specialized ownership. There's no hangars. There's no storage. There's no apartment. Literally, it's more or less kind of like giving money to the Church of Elite Dangerous, because you're never gonna see any benefit from it. Only one's benefiting is the community. Let's talk about engineers. I'm not going to talk about current day engineers, but I'm going to talk about apprentices. Now, why am I bringing this up? We don't have any apprentices in the game. You're right, we don't, but we should. The Dukes of Myken are like 15,000 to I think 16,000 light years away from the bubble. If they decide one Saturday afternoon to actually go and do some conflict zones or do some kind of gameplay, and they want to actually design a ship and then outfit a ship, they can't. They won't have any engineers, material traders, tech traders, or anything like that out there, unless they build high-end tech broker Dodex, right? So what's the solution? And I thought, why not roaming engineer apprentices? Of course, when they design something for you or build something for you, they're going to need to roll more. They're going to need to do more. They might fail some rolls, right? But you have apprentices out in the black at stations. Maybe it's part of the station construction, and they do the experimental parts of the including the upgrading of your items that you want to upgrade. And being that the station already has a shipyard, it has a location where you can meet these guys in the bar. There's not much need for coding. You just take an NPC, you stick apprentice over their heads, and you form some kind of UI interface within the game. I think apprentices are required with all this colonization. Seriously. I think we need apprentices to be able to keep colonizing and having our own small little hubs. And in those hubs we can have missions, we can do things, we can do whatever. But we have those resources there. We have the apprentices there. We have the material traders there. We have the tech brokers there. We don't have to go back to the bubble to actually do any kind of engineering. I'm not thinking about changing the engineers at all. They're quite a mess, but I'm not going to talk about that at all. I'm just talking about adding an apprentice that would be mobile, that can go from stations. You can recall them. Maybe have a UI dashboard where you can recall the certain engineer, and he would travel to your location so he can do the engineering, right? So let's say on Tuesday I want to do, I don't know, pulse lasers. I recall the guy. He comes Tuesday afternoon. 3 or 4 hours later, he's there, and then you can do your engineering. So it gives you kind of like an immersion kind of thing, like you see it happening. Or they can be at the station that you built. So, or it comes with the station. So it could be a T3 plus plus plus, and it just costs more money to build or whatever. But it's just a thought for you guys. I really do think as the bubble moves forward and moves out there, we are going to have a disconnect when it comes to game mechanics and stuff like that. We need to actually have these engineering components available everywhere. And apprentices is my thought on that one. I'm going to go AFK just for a silent second. I need to get some food. I was actually going to make some nuggets. And my wife is pissed at me because I didn't go do the MRI tonight. I totally forgot. I thought she said Monday night, but she said no. She said Sunday night. I don't think. I was in pain yesterday, so I can't remember. AFK for just a sec. Be right back.
Lighting gear deployed.
Landing complete. Solid approach. Welcome, Commander.
Alright, I'm back. Material traders, tech brokers, even the Guardian tech brokers, everything should be out in the black. Everything should be on stations that you design. They got plenty of NPCs lying around in the bar. All they have to do is change the name of above their heads. Very low end coding. They wouldn't have to do much, and it's just UI interface after that. So whenever I think of solutions, I try to think of what would be the easiest way of doing things. So this way, maybe they can implement it like pre-engineered cargo racks. Like, before they came out, I actually went on the forums and I suggested it. Why can't you pre-engineer cargo racks? Right? Lo and behold, they did. And now we have pre-engineered cargo racks. So that's a good thing, I guess, right? So, just a thought.
No gravity. Magnetic contact active.
But I play a lot. And I see the problems in this game. I play a lot, I see the problems, and there's a lot of problems with colonization. A lot. And another thing is the BGS. I know that maybe they're gonna fix the VGS. Maybe we'll get our own faction again. The thing that bothers me the most is ownership. I own nothing. I build a system, but I own nothing. And you should be able to. I mean, how many plants are out there? You can't buy a moon. You can't buy a moon. It makes no sense. But it would create gameplay if you think about it. Think about it for a minute. You buy a moon. You establish a settlement. Maybe the game designers can make the T2 ground port a governor's mansion.
We've got this. Take your time.
Right? So you have a government mansion attached to that. Now, people can invade your system, actually, and do conflict zone to actually take over your planet. Right? You're not going to be permanent governor. There's no world. There's nothing like that in our world right now. So people get ousted all the time. Right? But there should be some kind of fair system where maybe you're not doing a good job. Maybe people are rebelling against you. You know, so that's why it kind of opens the door for conquest by other factions. That would create gameplay. And all you're doing is turning a T2 ground port into a governor mansion and changing the UI a little bit. That's it. Then I have ownership. But it's real world ownership. It can be taken away. I can't lose it. So that would be... So I have to nurture it. I have to make sure the system is happy. Everybody's happy. So that I'm building the right things.
Fly safe.
Right?
What can you get out there that you can't get?
It's just a thought. Like, for instance, I have a hospital in my main system, but there's an outbreak. So I don't know why I have an outbreak, even though I have a hospital in that system. So I don't know what happened or how it happened, but I have an outbreak. In any case, so that's the situation. Pretty soon the Dodec will be finished. Even if Jack stops helping or everybody stops helping, I still can finish on my own. I had a lot of help right now, so I'm at a point where the remainder I can do myself. So in any case, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to ask for help. I'm going to ask for help, and I'm going to ask for people to help me out. If they help me, that's great. If no, it's okay. So, sorry that I'm chewing while I'm talking, but did have dinner, and I've actually been hauling all day. I had 4 fleet carriers full, and Jack didn't see the one that I brought into the system. It had like 26,000 tons of titanium. That includes the clipper. It was full also. So I finished the titanium, the steel, with help from Jack. So I've been hauling pretty much all day. So I didn't get to eat
Cargo
anything.
hold at maximum capacity.
I was like, I'm having bouts with insomnia. That's a wonderful thing. I hate insomnia. So here it is, Sunday morning in the US, Sunday night in Shanghai, and we're hauling.
Landing gear retracted.
Ship released. You may depart when ready.
I saw Project Hail Mary. I think it's a delightful movie. If you guys get a chance, go see it.
Frame shift drive
Speed restrictions
charging.
lifted. Have a safe trip, Commander.
So it's pretty good movie. I have nothing bad to say about it.
Engage.
So there's really not much to watch. That's why I play Elite Dangerous all day, pretty much. When I'm working, but when I come home, what are you supposed to do? So I have 4 fleet carriers here. And so I plan to load up at least 2 with CMMs and then a third with the rest of the stuff. So where am I going?
Incoming message.
Man, I got too many fleet carriers around this planet. That's why I don't have a very good spot. I should move it, but just waste time. What do you like about Elite? Seriously. What do you like about Elite? Actually, every time I turn my face, I turn my head, I find new things to do. Last CG, we stacked missions. You know, I think that was a great thing. And we made a ton of money. A ton of money. This CG is at Rainbow's End. I'm probably not gonna go there. It is way too far. Even though I probably can get there in 3 hours or so with the Caspian. I'm not gonna do it.
Hello, Commander. Please stay aware of other ships around this carrier. Clearance granted. goes directly to your landing pad. Docking request confirmed. Assisted approach is go.
If you don't have a squadron, you should join a squadron. Let's talk about that. I know a lot of you have made your own solo squadron, etc., etc. That really wasn't cool. Because you wanted a squadron carrier. A squadron carrier is actually more expensive than a fleet carrier. What do I mean by that? You get 25,000 dedicated tons of storage in your fleet carrier. 25,000 tons. How much does it cost? 5 billion. The squadron carrier costs 25 billion, and you only get 60,000 tons.
Our services are at your disposal.
Half of what the fleet carrier gets. And the cost of running it is a lot higher than the fleet carrier. Of course. Of course. Maybe 3 times as high. So, it's not cost effective to own a squadron carrier if you just already have a fleet carrier. There's no need. Unless you have a dozen other accounts, a dozen alt accounts, and you need to consolidate them. But you can do that through a squadron bank. So you don't need a squadron carrier to transfer money and materials. Well, you do materials, not money in a squadron bank. What? Okay. So I don't know if it makes sense to have a squadron carrier. But if you do have a squadron like I do, it makes sense. And they've used it. They've used it to haul. They've used it to do stuff. I have tons of materials on it so they can actually do their engineering. So it makes sense if you have a squadron, a decent sized squadron. It does make sense to have that. But you should join a squadron like that. Make sure that the squadron leader is pretty cool and he's he actually will let you use it. Will let you go and use it wherever you want to go use it with, or whoever. And it was actually out of the bubble for about 3 months. It was one of our more louder players was using it to transport I don't know, waste product. Was it bio waste? Was it bio waste you were transporting? What was it you transporting? Diapers? Diapers, that's right. You're transporting diapers. That's right. So you should join a squadron, that's for sure. My squadron's available. We have a pretty good sized squadron. We participate at least once a week and do something. We don't have squadron missions, Vanguard missions, because they said they were going to put that in there, but they never did, which makes me sad. Makes me sad. It would be nice to have squadron missions. You know, the squadron leader puts up stuff for a squadron to do. I think that would be cool. In any case, here we are transporting product. I've been redesigning ships, but not based on old designs, old mindset, right? So that's why I wanted to do you see me do a lot of power play, because I've been trying to upgrade ships. The old ships, new ships. And then I'm going to have kind of a debut of my thoughts on the ships of Elite. Should be soon. I'm gonna do it soon.
Cargo hold at maximum
Okay.
capacity.
I bought the Mamba kit, by the way, guys. Really nice. With the plating. The Mamba does not have any chrome, or at least I don't think so, but I had palladium. The color palladium. I don't know if you guys remember palladium. If you're new, it was it's a metal, of course. It's kind of a dull chrome. That was our chrome job, palladium. Well, the Mamba looks fantastic with that color, the kit, the ship kit. And she's pretty fast. She's a pretty fast ship. She doesn't have range. You can't go more like the 60 light year range. You're gonna run out of fuel. But she is very, very fast.
Frameshift drive.
And I put shock cannons on her, which, let's just say they overheat a lot. So try out new things. Try out new things. Try out new builds. You know, don't conform with what people have to say. And that's why I don't like the negativity that's going around about this game. In 8 years, you've been only talking about the death of the game. But it's still alive and kicking. So you guys stop listening to negativity like that. These guys playing the video games, they're not FDev, they're not management, they're not the board of directors. Only those people get to make the choices and decisions. So if the 10-cent board of director guy wants to put in everything a microtransaction, guess what? That's what's gonna be. He's got a golden ticket. He gets to decide whatever he wants to decide. So, for your sake, enjoy the game the way it is right now. It's not pay to play, it's not pay to win, it's not even pay to skip yet. But it offers, for the value that you get by buying it, it offers some pretty good value. Okay, so right now it's going for $10 at the store. I think I'm gonna get 3 new accounts so I can have 3 Dodecs available to unlock. And I will do a tutorial out of the new one, kind of give you my take on how to do this game less grindy. Mate, that's a very emotionally intelligent take. Good job, mate. I would quit Elite. Well, Danger Mouse, that's your prerogative. Okay? But that doesn't mean that you have to do it. If it's there, it's just there. But it's a suggestion because there are a lot of solo players who want to build a Dodec and they can't. So if you're one person that has a squadron and you have people who can help you, then you're luckier than most of us that are playing the game. Okay, if I did not have a squadron right now, Danger, I would still be at 10% on my Dodec. And I would be rushed and hesitating to finish it up to the last minute. Okay? So, my opinion is, it's just a function. It doesn't do anything. It only allows weaker players that maybe just come into the game, players that don't have the time to actually finish things and do things without grinding. And my thought, Danger, The grind kills the player, not the game. The grind, not the pay to play or pay to skip. Okay, the grind. Okay, the grind will kill most of players, and they'll just won't play anymore. I am a solo player and put a lot of work in colonization. Okay. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure you'll explain. Proto says, hey, question, is the FPS content more fleshed out and functional now? Yes. Yes. And I want to be honest with you, I was pleasantly surprised. I really was. High conflict zone, try that out. Okay, I was pleasantly surprised. They actually do different things. And it was really, really good. It's really good. It could be better, but maybe different weapons, maybe different things, but it could be better. But it was really good. All that would make trivial if someone would pay a way to accomplish the same. I don't. All that would be made trivial if someone would pay their way to accomplish the same. Okay. Fantastic to hear, man. Haven't played since 12 months post Odyssey. I'll give this a retrial. Dude, you're gonna be pleasantly surprised. You really are. I actually was. And I'm talking because I do a lot of ground. So basically, I'm saying that I can take out 24, 25, 28 scavengers, no problem. They're like wet noodles. Well, after the change, that was not so. I actually got killed trying to take them out with like 4 or 5 left. And it was a challenge. Okay, it was a challenge. So I had to guard myself. I had to jump on structures. I had to run away and hide a little bit. I had to get my shields back up. So it was a little bit of a challenge, and it was really, really good. It really was. I was very, very surprised. Now, as to your statement, Danger. Okay, listen to what I'm saying to you. Pay to skip is not pay to play, because it still costs money. What you're skipping is time value. What you're skipping is time wasters. That's what you're skipping. So if you love to waste time, okay, then I don't know what kind of gamer you are. Because if you like to spend 60 hours building a dodec, instead of maybe going to missions, ground missions, combat, power play, something different besides hauling like I'm doing right now, you're noticing the gameplay. This is actual gameplay without pay to skip. Right now I am doing the dodec, as it were, building this structure. And the total time cost is 60 hours. 60 hours. At $20 an hour, that's $1,200. Would I rather pay $30 to skip? Yes. But I'm not doing that. Okay? So it's a choice. It's not necessarily means that everyone who gets this option is going to do it. Your mindset is it's there, people are going to do it all the time. Well, no, it's not. It's not going to happen. There's a bunch of new laser, colors, and the exhaust on. They cut the prices completely, so you can buy it really cheap. I don't want to buy it. I want something different, but I don't want to buy it. I don't want to spend the arcs, and I can. Okay, I want to buy. The. I might want to buy a new ship. the Caspian for a different account to do something with it. Okay? But I'm holding out. So you have the option. Okay, you have the option, but that doesn't mean you're going to take that doesn't mean you're going to do it. It's an option, and it's kind of like a poison pill kind of nuclear option. You have a few weeks left to go. You have this option to actually finish construction. And this is my point, Danger. That's the whole point. If you listen to what I was saying to you, that's exactly what I said, because I enjoy building. I enjoy colonization. It provides therapeutic value for me. I actually, when I do enough of it, I can rest, I can sleep, and right now I got insomnia. So if I do this a few hours, I can actually go and sleep very well tonight. Okay? So, point is, it's an option. It's there just at that time where maybe it doesn't become available until you have like a week left and you still have 50% to build. Right? Maybe it doesn't become available. Maybe they put in a little bit of a poison pill so that you can't use it all the time. Okay? But remember, you get no benefit from building these fuckers. None. The T3s, the T2s, the Dodec, nothing. You have nothing in it. There is in this Drakkster's Forge, which I did by myself. This colossal fucking construction I built myself. Okay? There's nothing in it. I spent 60 hours, 80 hours, whatever I spent building this thing. I have no apartment. I have no special hangar. I have no special storage. I have nothing. My bank is not even here. It should be here. It should be available at the local Drakkster's Forge, right? All right? A branch of my bank. But I don't have anything here. So there is no benefit whether you pay to skip or you just do the construction and spend 60 hours building it. There's no benefit except the community. That's it. None. Yeah. This by myself. By myself. And this was before I had the squadron. So I did it all by myself. I hauled every last living fucking shit to this place. Okay? Yeah, exactly. So my first option that I said is extend the time, the initial time, right? The T1 and the T2 should be 30 days. The T3 should be 45 to 60 days. You should have more time to finish construction. And that will eliminate the grinding thing. That will eliminate, like you grind 2, 3, 4 days and you say, oh fuck, I need a break. I want to do some missions. Right? So it'll give you a little vacation from the grind. So my initial recommendation is do that. But I really do love the fact that I can pay to skip. I really would love that. Because on 3 occasions I had like 2 or 3 hours left. And if it wasn't for my good buddy Phaser Radok, Jack, I would have never finished the construction. Okay? I would have never fucking finished the construction. So there is that nuclear option where you're down to the wire and you can just boom, I press a button and it's finished. Because fuck, I only have a few hours left, or a week or 3 days left, and I'm at 50%. And there's no way for you to finish. Most people that play this game they're busy people. They have jobs. They do things. Okay? So maybe they get to play 3 hours, 4 hours a week. They're not like me, coding and having my own place, and I have arthritic problems that I have to not move around much. That could make it so you can make your own CG and offer a premium to anyone who helps you build. Dude, Hawk, don't even bring that up. Don't bring it up. Do you know the prices for that? Have you checked the prices? Okay, so before you bring that up, you need to look at the prices. I've checked the prices. They're billions, dude. And no one, there's still people that don't want to do it. Okay? So there is in Discord there is a group, and they will build your stuff for you, but they want billions. I don't even know what it is now. I don't even know how much for a Dodec.
Incoming message.
So it's just it's not cost effective. Why am I going to spend 7 billion to build a Dodec? Okay? Yeah, this is 100% a game for the terminally employed. Well, people work. You know, so they work, they come home, they play a little bit, you know, but if there's grinding, that's where FDev is going to lose out. Because a new player is going to come in here and see the grind, or listen to a Mechan and listen to a Yamek, and basically going to quit. You know, yeah, exactly. OPIDA. So you can't get them to do it for you, but they want billions. You know, they want billions. They want billions. Yeah, but that's just one construction, Hawk. You know how many T3s I built? How many T2s I built? How many? And now this is my how many Dodecs? So I'm talking about if you're gonna do it constant, which you need. Like I would want to do a constant contract all the time. I would have to work more to get the money, so I can give these guys money to build my shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay, don't go on a rant now. Go down that rabbit hole. Okay? Let's just not go there. Let's just not go there, Hawk. We're not gonna go there. Okay? Let's just not go there. This is the game, and I want to play the game. So I'm talking about building a Dodec, building a T3. I'm talking about building because this is the game, and it's fun. It is fun. It is part of the gameplay. I did do various things with my construction. So you know, you have to take the good with the bad. That's just the way it is. So let's not go down that direction, that negativity. It's all shit. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I know you have an opinion, and your opinion is basically that this game should be thrown into the fire and destroyed forever. But I don't have that opinion. I like it. I like playing it. And I'm talking about changes they can subtly make. And the nuclear option with the pay to skip, let's just say put in a corner, because I know that would be a debate and a half on the forums. Nobody would want to do it. But they can extend the amount of time it requires for you to build those locations. You know, like the T3, the Dodec, instead of 30 days, the initial construction, they can extend that to 60 days. Or whatever, so you have more time to actually finish. And to me, it's a simple solve. Did I just transfer everything? I didn't even fucking deliver anything here. It's a simple solve. It's a UI thing. They're never gonna build the NPC to actually help us. It's too many moving parts. So I've seen a lot of people say, why can't we get the NPC to help us? Why can't they fly our ships? Blah, blah, blah. It's never going to happen. You know? And I have a problem with that too. I want to own a planet. I want to be the governor of a planet. I want to own the planet. Okay, I want it to personalize my own planet, right? So I have a problem with that also. But that would be gameplay. You know, ownership of a planet, governorship, that actually would create gameplay if you think about it, because the right thing to do is being able to lose it. You become a governor, but you can't lose your governorship if you do a bad job. You know, so that would be gameplay. That wouldn't necessarily mean that you can keep your ownership. Maybe you own the planet, but you won't own the governorship. Somebody else can take over your governorship, but you still hold the rights to the planet. But I want my own planet. Why can't I own my own planet? Why can't I have my own system? Own it? I don't understand that. It doesn't require anything. It doesn't change the code much, right? But if they do build, let's say, and I've talked about the governor mansion taking the T2 ground station and maybe fixing it up a little bit, making a governor mansion, and then you can make that like a location, like a boss fight, so that people would invade your system if, let's say, the BGS moved negatively against you, right? Many don't realize to pay one way or another. You buy a ship, arcs, or 1,000 credits to transfer. It can cost millions to transfer. How long would it take to make those credits? Yeah. Well, that's why I never hired anybody out of that group, because the cost seemed so high that I just said I want to use them a lot. And if I use them once, I'm going to want to do it again. So I never hired the group and paid $5 billion to build a freaking T3. So that's the choice I made. So I ended up doing shit myself. You know, like the ground port, the T3 on the ground. So where I'm at right now, this place, this location. So it's just a thought. It's just a thought, you know. It would make gameplay better, and I'm thinking about new players coming to this game that they want to do this stuff, but they don't have a chance because etc. etc. Okay, but Hawk, what if you don't have a squadron? What if you're a squadron of one? Okay, and what if your people helped? Okay, and they did 10,000. They did they just hauled about 10,000. I have another 270,000 to haul. You can't get the squadron. You can't twist their arms and say, "Fucking help me, bitch." You can't. All right. So they help what they can. You know, like I'm lucky that I have Phaser Ruddock in my group, because he's actually been the best at hauling and been the best at this stuff. But you can't get people, you can't force people to do it. You can suggest, hey, look guys, I'm doing a T3, sure would love some help. They help, they help. They don't, they don't. And that's it. Okay? You're not going to force their hand. So even if you have a squadron, you still might be up a creek without a paddle. Okay, that's just my thought. So even if you have a squadron, it doesn't matter. And you can be. I was in the fatherhood. I barely played with anybody. I'm like, what the fuck is this? They have 600 people, but I don't play with anybody, right? And in the small squadron I've had, now I play more with them than I've played in the fatherhood. I was in Mars's group, Ghost Giraffe, Laser Cops. He's got about 40 members. I played more with these guys here in my group than I did with him. So it all depends. The time that they're on, depends what they want to do. Like, you know, like Mars, Europe, he likes to jump over valleys and ravines and shit. So that's just not my gameplay. So when they got a reward, dude. Hawk, are you kidding? Do you know how much manufacturing instructions I gave to these guys? Hundreds. There's $10 billion credits sitting in the bank. They can draw it if they need a fleet carrier, they can buy it right now. Right now. Rewards are there. Okay, and everyone has access to the squadron carrier. Nobody's singled out. Or maybe the players have been around singled out, but the ones that are here, they all have access to the squadron carrier. Okay? So they have the rewards, but that doesn't mean they're going to help you. Okay? It doesn't mean they're going to help you. You are a very good person at heart, and I know you are, because you think that, since all these things are given to them, they should help you back, right? But no, that doesn't work that way. They come into the game for about 2 hours. They want to play missions. They don't want to go haul your fucking dodec. Fuck you, Danny. I don't want to haul your shit. Okay, that's what they say, in their minds, right? So they're not gonna do that. They're gonna come in, play their game, go and shoot some shit, then go back home, go and watch TV at home. That's it. So there are some dedicated guys,
Landing gear retracted.
There are some dedicated guys. The Phaser Ruddock, for instance, there are some, and he's a saint. He's hauling today. I unloaded 4 fleet carriers today. 100,000 tons. So it's what they want to do. Dude, the reward is there. Did I just say I just gave them 100 manufacturing instructions? Okay? And they got materials to build suits. They got everything on the fleet carrier. They got cash. They got the fleet carrier, the squadron carrier. Those are the things, right? Yeah, what missions are you talking about? We don't have that capability. That they said they were going to do that, but we don't have Vanguard per se. We're supposed to have the capability of doing missions, but we're not, or CGs, but we're not. So there's what reward besides what I'm giving to them? Okay. So it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter. If they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. I'm not hurt by it. I don't really care, right? I really don't care. So if they want to help, it's okay. If they don't, it's okay. So I'm fine with that. But when I go out and play with them, and we're like in a wing, and we're doing fucking combat, I love having Old Virgin around. He's a fucking great combat pilot. But he said yesterday, you're never going to fucking get me to haul for a dodec. This is the truth. But I want him around so I can play combat with him. I can play combat zones with him. The guys kick ass. You get my point? So some things you tolerate because you get the benefit of other things from that person. So I'm okay with the help I have right now through Jack. I mean, he might be tired tonight. He says, fuck, oh, that's it, I'm done, Dan. I'll say, okay, good. Thank you very much. I'll finish up the rest. Right? So, but he's there. And when I play with him, it's awesome. Or when I play with Old Virgin, it's awesome. The benefit of playing with them is what I want. So I'm not going to make them do stuff they don't want to do, so they can go somewhere else. Right? Join my squadron and see the rewards. You wouldn't know what to do the shit I have for everybody. Seriously speaking. Alright? I have too much. I actually have to sell off materials because I have so much crap. But whenever someone needs something, they're going to get it. They need manufacturing instructions, they're going to get it. They need Suntil relics, they're going to get it. Whatever it takes, they're going to get it. Alright? Period. That's a good leader. Alright? Yeah, but there's no Vanguard, dude. I don't know what they did. There was supposed to be and I was getting excited. You're supposed to have your own reward system. You're supposed to have your own CG. You were supposed to, but that never came. Missions, there's nothing like that. There's no squadron missions. I can't develop a squadron mission in Vanguard, in the squadron. There's no missions. You can ask people to do stuff, but that's it. It's just like a Discord channel. That's basically all it is. So that's the deal with that. It's a little bit disappointing because I was expecting a lot more out of that, but you know, and I think they're expecting a lot more out of that, but you know, whatever.
Landing gear deployed.
Anyway, here we are again at Davy Jones. I'd like to see the squadron emblem on my fleet carrier. I really would. I got a petition FDEF to do that. Just like the squadron carrier, I want the emblem to be on my fleet carrier.
Landing complete. Commence shutdown. Services
I think it's a good idea.
photos.
I'm not carrying anything here. Anyway, colonization right now it's super basic. Really, it's macro colonization, not anything else. To get colonization to where I want it, where I would enjoy it even more, it would there needs to be a lot of layering in it. A lot of stuff put in. And I don't think they have that. I don't think they'll ever do that. So, but I'm okay with what's going on right now. I'm building some hubs. I'll be building some tritium depots. And all for the use of the community so that they can actually do things. So when I build these things, I think about I'm doing it for the community, not for myself, because you get nothing out of it. In my fleet carrier, I don't even have an apartment. I don't have an apartment to hang my weapons with a shower like in Cyberpunk, you know. But hey, I'll take what I get. I'll take what I can get. I do like the changes they did with Odyssey stuff, with the ground combat. That I'm very excited. I was actually going to do ground combat today, but I had so much to offload. 100,000 tons. I had so much to offload that I said, okay, I'm not going to do that today. And I miss it. I really miss the ground combat. I enjoy it. I'm not a first-person shooter per se. I'm not really that talented. Maybe mediocre at best, but I really do enjoy the ground combat. 07, aim to challenge. 07. So, one of the best things you can do right now is use the shock cannons. I'm putting another fellow in our squadron. Sean, he's putting shock cannons on the Caspian, on the Mamba, on the Kestrel, and he says that it's fantastic.
Hey.
Yeah, I have to check that out, Phaser. I have to check that out. If that's the case, then it makes what I want to do easier. You get my point? Because I want to have it for the squadron, but I don't know where these are. So if I find them and locate them and say it's here, and then there's a hub next door, then I don't need to build any other tritium depots. I just can, mark them down and have them in the description in YouTube or on Discord or whatever, so that when we travel, we can just hit those spots and load up on a tritium, right? But I definitely want to head towards Colonia, maybe make some hubs for myself for the squadron. And I definitely want to hit Colonia with a couple of hubs. And then move to the other side. Break on through to the other side. Do you know what I mean? Because I know Dukes of Mike are gonna go to Beagle Point. They're definitely gonna go there. For sure.
At maximum capacity.
For sure they're gonna go to Beagle's Point. So one of the biggest things that I said, I think the change would be, and it's easy change, it doesn't require a lot of coding, doesn't require a lot to the UI, just extend the times. Extend the times of the build.
Landing gear retracted.
You know, you get a bonus 30 days if you're building a T3 or a Dodec. Extend the time. So this way that people have less stress, less grindy feel. Even though they have to finish it, there's no easy button. There's no skip to pay button. Skip to play. Pay to skip. Excuse me. They at least have more time to finish something. Everybody works. Everybody here in chat works. Everybody. Including myself. Everybody. Yeah, exactly. The first initial construction. The first initial construction, the T1, the T2, T3, and the Dodec, they all have the same amount of time to finish the construction, but the cost, time-wise, to build a T3 and a Dodec is a lot longer. A lot longer. So they should have an extension. There should be an extension for it. But most people doing these are solo players. Very limited amount of group work. Very limited. You know, we're not Axe pilots here. We're not making it his Axe crew. But they built, what, 7, 8 T3s in their system. So, I'm saying if they want new players, they need to make some concessions. They need to do some easy fixes. So this way, it's not so stressful. And the grind, they don't feel the grind. Because the grind kills. And then they lose the player. And they lose a place where a source of income. So that's my point. That's the easiest fix in my suggestions. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna do that. It's a thing about they would have to make emissions. Okay, so that means they would have to make them looking for members, looking for group. That means it would probably have to be part of the peer-to-peer. So whenever you're layering like that, that's a lot of bugs. Because it's just, you would have to create the mission, right? So you would have to create a mission. So you'd create a mission, haul 100,000 tons, and here's the cost. But there's already stuff like that on Discord, and people don't want to do it. So there are Discord channels where you can actually get people to haul your stuff for money, and they don't do it. Because I don't know, but it's just credits. It's not. After a while, I guess you make enough, and you don't want to do it anymore. It's boring.
Hello, Commander.
Yeah, but they don't have that Hawk. I was so excited about Vanguard because of that. They don't have that, and it's not available. So if it's not available and they don't have it, what are we going to talk about? They're never. It's probably, and the reason they don't have it is exactly what I said. It's too many layers and too many possibilities for bugs.
Feel free to relax.
It has to be a looking for group, looking for member kind of thing, just like in any other RPG, right? MMORPG. So you have to set your own mission. It's not generated by the computer or them. And then it goes into a mission board. So that means that you have to involve the peer-to-peer system. That means you have to involve the servers. There's too many moving parts. So knowing them, I'm sorry, but they're lazy. Knowing them, they're not going to do that shit. If I make a suggestion, okay, if I make Hawk and Aim, if I make a suggestion, it's one where I realize their shortfalls, and I try to make a suggestion based on their capabilities, which are limited. Okay, so
Landing complete. Commence
I actually would love missions, but the mission would probably sit on the mission board for 30 days. No one's gonna pick it up. You know what I mean? No one's gonna pick it up. So, unfortunately for us, you might have lost confidence, but my suggestion is try the new AI. Try a high conflict, high intensity conflict zone now. It's totally different and it's fun. It's a little stressed out, but it's fun. It is fun, and I was very surprised. I was with Kix, one of the other guys from our squadron, and we were laughing. We're having so much fun with it. It was good times, but we don't do it enough. I wish we could do more of it. It was good fun. We really enjoyed it, and I was surprised by what the AI is doing now. So that's why I said to these guys, get jump, so that you can get off the floor and onto a structure, so you can start observing from above what these fuckers are doing. Who work on the original lead are mostly long gone. Yeah, they did. I actually was in a conflict zone and I had a Kestrel attack me. So, they're there. A Drakkster killer is a Coriolis or a Dodec with trusts. And the more trust it has, the more likelihood that I will die. 2, 50% possibility
If you need any
of death.
I'm here if you have
4,
any questions.
75 to 80% possibility of death. A Dodec with 10, 100% possibility of death. That is what a Drakkster killer is. I cannot avoid those trusts for the life of me. They follow me wherever I go. In my nightmares, they're there. And so when I see a station with those things, with those constructions, I ask myself, why? Why do you hate me? Why? Anyway. Yeah, the Kestrel, dude. I saw a Kestrel was in my conflict zone. Okay, it didn't have the maneuverability that the engineering does, but it was pretty fast. So I had a Kestrel in my conflict zone. I think who saw Python Mach 2? You have to do them. You have to do these. You have to do the quests. You have to do the conflict zones. You have to do the missions. Then you'll start seeing. If you just don't sit around watching people play. I'm not gonna be doing that right now. Trying to find these new ships. It is fun. It is fun to blow the shit up. Especially when that Kestrel was going nuts, running around and shit. Very nice. Anyway, so any suggestion I make, man, it's just implement it with the least amount of work, lazy coding kind of shit that doesn't cause a bunch of bugs and a bunch of things. Like I was a little bit, not a little bit, I was a lot disappointed with Vanguard because this just didn't have what they say it was gonna have. They said there was gonna be missions. They said it was gonna be CGs. They said we're gonna make our own rewards, but nothing like that happened. You know, all they did was clean up the old one a little bit. They didn't even give us our own factions back, which would have been nice. You know, have the squadron being a faction. So, and I can't blame them if they only have 2 to 3 people fucking working on this game. That's basically what we're gonna get. We're gonna get ignored. So that's just a fact. It's a 10-year-old game. Their flagship is the dinosaur game. They didn't even reduce the price. It's $60. If you go to the store, the Jurassic World is still $60. They didn't even put a sales price for it. Okay, so they get to share the wealth with the who does Universal? Universal, right? They get to share the profits with Universal, and Universal pumps the product. So they got marketing. But eventually those agreements end, and they're stuck with what they have. So we'll see.
Landing gear retracted.
Ship released. You are clear for departure.
Yeah. Well, we're going into the same conversation we had the other day. So more sales in the store, more arcs just means more manpower. They'll add more people to this game. But if we have people like Mekin and Yamek to say all the time, pay to play, pay to play, pay to win, and they're not going to do anything, and the game will die, and that's it. So it's either we change and we move forward, and these old dinosaurs that keep fucking ranting about pay to win, pay to play go away, because they're dinosaurs. Okay? It's not reality. Okay? You live in a fantasy world if you think that a game could stay free forever. It's not. It has to... for it to flourish, there has to be cash flow. So if you have a mentality of pay to win, pay to all this stuff, keep your mentality and go to another game that doesn't have that issue, and they end up fucking dying anyway. Those games die too. Okay? Dungeons and Dragons is going on 20 years. The game is pay to play. It was free to play, and now it's everything inside the game is pay to play. But it's going on 20 years and still people playing the game. So what would I rather do? Do that, or Dungeons and Dragons dies? DDO Online, 20 years. Okay? And Hawk, let me tell you, it's not a bad thing to pay to skip if I'm keeping 60 hours of game time. Okay, Hawk? Just the trade-off is for $30, I get to skip 60 hours of playing time. Now I finished the Dodec. Let's say last week when I started the Dodec, okay, Hawk, I paid to skip. Just last week. What would I be building right now? A T3 on the ground. Refineries. Okay? High-tech settlements. I'll be building a hub. That this hub is finished probably by the end of the week or by the end of next week, right? So then I move on to something else. So the offset is I get to keep the 60 hours that I would have spent building the fucking Dodec. That's the offset. So I pay $30 to skip the grind. It doesn't bother me. But let's say when I built the T3, right, the ground station, I had the option pay to skip. Drakkster's Forge, this one I keep going to right now to load up. I didn't mind. I enjoyed it. I didn't have a time clock. I didn't have anybody saying you have 30 days left to fucking finish the construction. Okay, so that's the difference. Pay to skip should be available when you have a time constraint. Or just get rid of the fucking clock. No clock. No clock. Why do I have to do it in 30 days? No clock. This way I have all the time in the world. 3 months, 4 months. I'm not stressed out. I haul when I want. I'm relaxed. That's what I want. When I built the ground T3, I was it took me 4 months, 3 months. I was hauling whenever I wanted. Okay? It was enjoyable. But if I have 30 fucking days and I have, oh my god, I got another week left. Oh my god, I got 3 days left. Oh my god. And I still got fucking 100,000 tons to deliver. That station's gone. It's gone. Okay? So that's my point. But it's an idea, it's a fantasy, because the way the forums are and the way the players are, if you bring this up and say pay to skip, they'll crucify you. If I go on the forums right now and say pay to skip, I will be crucified. I would literally be crucified. Even though my logic is sound, and my opinion is sound, and I think it makes sense, they'll still crucify me. Right? Yeah, but Hawk, that's the point. They make money and they will add content, right? They will. That's the point. They have to have multiple sources of income. They have to bring in cash. No cash flow, no new people. No new people, no new content. You know? Fuck, man. It's easy. It's basic economics. Basic economics. They're not going to take the money they make out of Jurassic World and put it into Elite Dangerous. Anyway, that's just a thought. Well, that's basic economics of today, dude. So this is just basically the way the world works. And it's a fact. 1 second, please. Yeah, Carla. Who is this? Timudo. Anyway, I don't know what that Chinese person is talking to me. Anyway. One second, please. AFK. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Feels like they're gonna... Dude. I don't know you very well, but this game is never going to Star Citizen route. It's a functional game. Star Citizen is not a functional game. Okay, period. There's no discussions there. This is a functional game. There's gameplay. You don't have to pay for shit. You don't have to pay for anything. No one's twisting your arm hard to buy fucking nothing, okay? So get it out of your fucking head. No one's making you buy anything. Okay? It's just there. If you want, you buy. If you don't, you don't. And even the early access ships, soon the Caspian will be available. Then the Kestrel, then whatever other ship, they come available. So you wait for it. No big deal. You don't have to buy it. I prefer not to buy it. I prefer to buy the standard. I don't buy the Galactic or the Stellar or anything else. You know? But it's there. If you don't want to spend the money, you just spend the $10 you spent 20 years ago. And that's it. It's not Star Citizen. Star Citizen is a piece of shit. Star Citizen raised $1 billion off the backs of schmucks. And if you paid for a fucking ship in Star Citizen, you're a schmuck. Because the game is non-functional game. It crashes non-stop. It's in a fucking... It's in a system that will never, ever be able to be developed. It'll never be developed. Okay? That's why they've never gone to beta. And if you know coding, you know what I'm talking about. It will never come out on beta. Never. It's a non-functional game. It's just scam. So to compare Star Citizen to Elite, you know, it's a little stupid. It really is. And there's nothing in this game that you have to buy, that you mandatorily have to buy. Nothing. You spend your $10 and that's it. Period. You don't have to buy absolutely fucking anything in this game. And they give you arcs. In 1 year, you make 20,000 arcs. What about those, Hawk? What about the 20,000 arcs they give you in a year? What about that? Okay? Dude, get off the fucking negativity trip, dude, because it's stupid. You don't want to play the game, you don't want to play the game. That's okay. But don't come here and give me the fucking negativity thing, because I have a response to everything you say. Okay? They give you 20,000 arcs in 1 year. You can buy a bunch of shit with the 20,000 arcs. If you constantly play, if you play 3 hours a week, you'll get 400 arcs. Okay? So what about the 400 arcs? Where's that go? It goes up my ass? I use it to buy toilet paper. What the fuck? Give me a break, dude. Seriously. Stop with the fucking negativity, man. Stop with the negativity, because you get stuff, but that doesn't mean you're going to use it. Who cares? If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. If you don't want to buy early access, you don't want to buy early access. But to compare it to Star Citizen, fuck. Jesus, man. Star Citizen will never be a game. Will never be a game. Okay? This is a viable playing game. People actually play this game. There's 50,000 on the server at one time. It's you can't compare that. And then the server didn't fucking explode. Like in Star Citizen. You can't even have 500 people in the instance in Star Citizen. Seriously, man. You know, get your story straight, man. Seriously. It's not Star Citizen. It'll never be Star Citizen. Even Starfield is trying to change and become like Elite. Now you can fly from planet to planet. Did you notice that? That they changed the fucking settings? This is what the devs said. I'm surprised that people want to fly from planet to planet. But you still can't land on them like you can on Elite. Or No Man's Sky. This game is never going to be Star Citizen. Never going to be Star Citizen. Okay, they have transactions. You can make your ship pretty. You can fucking you can buy early access ships. So fucking what? I didn't buy early access Kestrel on my other accounts. Just one to test it out. I didn't do that. And I only bought the standard because I don't like the stellar or the galactic. You can't save your modules. You can't save your modules. So that bothers me. So I don't buy it. It's a choice. No one is making you fucking buy shit. No one. Just like no one is making you play this game. It's a choice. Freedom of choice. You don't have to do it. I enjoy it. I like it. Yeah, there's a lot of problems, but I work through the problems. Like in engineering, dealing 5 hours with Marco Quint. Now Marco Quint is a doll. I finished Marco Quint in 30 minutes. Okay, so I find solutions to my problems. Okay? But to compare this to Star Citizen, fuck. Jesus. If Elite Dangerous got $1 billion, holy shit. If FDev raised $1 billion off of this game, holy shit. Oh my God. It's just I can't stand negativity, man. What the fuck's up with all this fucking negativity? You don't want to play the game, don't play the game. You're not even playing the game. You don't like Odyssey. You don't like to fucking fight Odyssey. You don't get in your ships. You say, "Oh, I'm waiting for a large fighting ship." The Caspian is a large fighting ship. Okay, the Caspian is a large fighting ship. Me and Sean engineered the fucking Caspian to be a fucking destroyer. Yes. And then you come and you F this, F that, whatever. You know, it's a 10-year-old game. It's a 10-year-old game. I'm okay with what we get. I'm okay with what they give us. I'm happy with what they give us. I don't have to buy it. I don't have to buy the Kestrel. I don't have to buy the Caspian. I don't have to buy any skin jobs. I don't have to buy anything they put in the store. Okay? But if I play continuously, everyone, FYI, if you play 3 hours a week minimum, you will gain 400 arcs every week. In 1 year, that's 20,000 arcs. Okay? In 2.5 years, it pays for a Dodec. Okay, then, Hawk. I'll tell you what. I'll send you a first-class ticket. You can fly and fucking go see him, and you can voice your opinion to Braden. And then they'll tell you exactly what they think about what you're saying. Okay? You get my point? They're rich. They're retired. They don't care. That's basically it. It's business 101. All they care about is the bottom line. Okay? Period. That's just the way it is. That's life. And one day, when this game stops making money, they're going to shut off the lights, and the game will be gone forever. And then we're going to say, oh, fuck, I miss Elite Dangerous. Oh, my God, I miss Elite Dangerous. I miss Elite Dangerous. I miss Elite Dangerous. I miss Elite Dangerous.
Incoming message.
Okay? But you do care, because you're here voicing your opinion, Hawk. You do care. You want it to be good. You want it to be special, because you had some moments that you really, really loved. Don't tell me you didn't. Right? You love the game. You want to play the game, and you're here because that you have that heart for this game, the love for the game. I have love for the game too, but I'm voicing it through this venue, right? That's exactly what I'm doing it, and I know they're listening because I know they've reverberated things I've said through their podcasts and everything, so I know they're listening. But it's to be negative all the time. So we got to take some positive. What are the positives? We have a nice squadron. We play together. We do. Now it seems like the AI on the ground has changed, so we have to do a different strategy. The AI, when it comes to the combat, space combat's changed. We have to change our strategy. Do something different. We build ships differently now. They gave us different kind of weapons. Now we use those. So, we're not gonna fix what Braden is. I'm not gonna fix the Braden whatever the way he thinks. I personally don't know why they hired someone with a zoology degree to become CEO of a software company. Personally, I think that was the stupidest mistake they could have ever made. But They did what they did. Okay? So, I played the original game the first time when it came out. I was a teenager. I bought it then. So, but we have to kind of okay, do I quit playing? What else am I going to play now? I quit playing Elite. I put a lot of time in Elite, 15,000 hours. What do I do now? So I start this. So I can voice my opinion. So I can talk about the good about Elite. Bring people on board. Have them play. The more people that come on board and voice their opinions, the more they'll change. Right? And you got to give them great ideas, Hawk. I put the ideas on the forums. The pre-engineered cargo rack I put on the forums a long time ago. And I was crucified by the community on the forums. You fucking idiot. How do you pre-engineer a cargo rack? Okay? Now we have pre-engineered cargo racks. So you got to give them good ideas, stuff that's easy, stuff that they can implement without a lot of bugs and a lot of fixes, and then they'll do it. One of which is this, extending the time that you do a construction. But to be negative about this and say, pay to win, pay to click at this, it's my desire that we have an easy button for new players. For new players, dude. They're coming on board. They don't know how to do things. They don't know how to haul. They don't have a Panther Clipper. It costs $1 billion to make a Panther Clipper effective. Okay? $1 billion. So they don't have that. For new players, giving them an easy button. Okay? Giving them a way to move forward. You know, even though it's there. And it might hurt the feelings of the older players, the older guys, the axe players, Meccan, Yamek. Oh, pay to win, pay to play, pay to skip. Okay. Enough of that. But to call this, if FDev got $1 billion, which Star Citizen got, what will Elite look like? What will Elite look like? This is never going to be Star Citizen. But if it got $1 billion, what would Elite look like right now? Okay? So, throwing that idea out there. Maybe some cash would be good for Elite. Anyway, that's just a thought. I'm just speaking out loud because I really want new players. I really want new players to come in. But I'm even going to start a series of videos how to win Elite in 2026. How to beat Elite in 2026. Okay? Because there's things to be done early on. And if you do those things, you won't have a grind. And the grind is what kills players. If they start grinding, I already lost like 3-4 players from the squadron because of the grind. And I feel sorry about that. They were grinding like crazy, and I said, don't grind, don't do that, do this, and now they're gone. So, the grind is what kills games. And Dungeons and Dragons is the same thing. I couldn't grind anymore. I was like, fuck this. 13 years of playing the same game. But they're still around, 20 years. And they're free to play, but they have internal transactions. You buy everything almost. Pay to win. So, just a thought. Just a thought, guys. We gotta keep a little bit of optimism, right? We love Elite. We want to play Elite. We gotta be optimistic that things will change for the better. And then we have to voice our opinions. We have to have a consensus of a group of people, right? You know, like Hawk, instead of being negative, let's join the bandwagon together. Let's get on the forums and let's just like fucking post and suggestions constantly. You need to change this, we need to change this, we need to change this, because then only then will they change. Okay, but if we stay negative and then we quit, no one really cares.
If you want to know more about Wonderful,
they won't care.
take all the
You're
time.
just a number. You're just a statistic. Another person that quit. But if you go and we group up you come on here and you voice your opinion, which you do, give me some ideas. Give me some solid ideas how to change the game for the better. You know, I do like the missions thing, and I was hoping we have missions. I was with you on that one. I was really hoping for Vanguard missions. But no Vanguard missions. No Vanguard missions, no Vanguard CG, no Vanguard reward system, no nothing. Just like, what the fuck? What's Vanguard? Vanguard's nothing. You know? Yeah, I thought too. I thought the same thing, dude. But it requires too many layers. It's coding wise with the stuff they have, and I want to say they have it is a problem because it's too many layered components to the code, to the UI, and all that. So it would end up being buggy or fail, and then we'd end up with another Odyssey fiasco. So I think that's why they skipped it. Maybe they'll implement it with operations. They're gonna have to, because the peer-to-peer sucks goat balls. Seriously. Yeah, and I think the on-foot Thargoid is what's going on right now with the rumor of those guys being exceptionally strong, and these guys were the ones that were in those pods. So, but in any case, yeah, we just gotta voice our opinions, come out with stuff, and Sean came out with some stuff the other day that was fantastic. I thought some great ideas in when you guys speak out, and you and I voice it, and I'll repeat it. I'll repeat the idea, Hawk, over like 6, 7, 8 videos. And I'll say, hey, this was a great idea. You should come on, because they listen. I know they fucking listen. They come on and they listen to these podcasts because they have nothing else to do all day. The community leader guy, what's he got to do all day except listen to podcasts? You know? Yeah, I think the on-foot Thargoid is going to be that those people that got locked away in the pods, and now they're experiencing a boost in their metabolism and their health and all that. It's they came out with the news about these people, so it looks like they're may do something with that. That might be what operations is. They take over megaships and installations and all that. We're gonna have to fight back and take it over again. You know, zombie. Yeah, they're zombies. Zomboids. They're gonna be zombies, dude. Thargoid zombies. I think that'd be cool. But hence the buffs. We're gonna have to have buffs because these guys are gonna be superhuman, and we're not gonna be superhuman. So no, they're like the superhuman kind of shit. The superhuman kind of shit. So the news is that they're experiencing a higher metabolism, stronger capabilities, like they're more physique, they're stronger, and it's these people that are experiencing this are the ones that were in capsules. The Alliance allowed them to go free, while the Federation and Imperium, well, they're holding them in concentration camps. So, well, we're not gonna get the aliens you think of. I want those aliens too. Actual Thar. I've been waiting for Thargoids for 8 years, but I don't think we'll get Thargoids because they're too tall. So how are they gonna get through doors and shit? You know, unless we have ground combat on surfaces. But I was expecting the Spire sites to be that, but we didn't get that. I thought the Spire sites would be like a ground conflict with Thargoids, but we didn't get that. You know, so let's see what happens. We'll see what happens. It's still gameplay. It's still gameplay, man. It's something new. You know, and I can't be negative about something that they're doing right now in a 10-year-old game. You know, it's a 10-year-old game. I was expecting the Spire sites to be ground conflict. That's what I thought, because you had those Goliath-looking things, skimmer things. So I was expecting that they would come out from a fucking portal and they start shooting at you as soon as you land on it, but nothing like that happened. So now that would have been great gameplay. But who knows? Maybe it's not too late. You know what I mean? Who knows? Who the hell knows? We got to keep a positive attitude. Come here, voice our opinion, come out with ideas, and I'll pump it constantly, all the time. I'll pump it. Okay. I'll even go to the forums and take the crucifying, and post the shit and bring it to the forefront so people can make I'll make the suggestions so they can make the changes. You know, I don't mind. I don't mind getting waxed for a good opinion. But we got to keep a positive attitude. And we're here to play the game. We're here to actually love the game. It brings us joy. It brings me joy. And let me tell you, if you knew the pain that I was in most days, you say, fucking shit, dude, why aren't you in the hospital? I was supposed to be in the hospital this weekend. Actually, I went yesterday. They wanted to put me in, inpatient, and do tests. So I said, no, I want to go home. So I'm supposed to be in the hospital right now. And I'm actually streaming with you guys. Okay? That's how much I love you. That's how much I love this community. That's how much I love this game. Okay? I'd rather be here being in the game and playing with you guys and streaming and talking to you than being in a fucking hospital with fucking wires up my ass. Okay?
Hello, Commander. Please stay aware of other ships around this carrier.
So, don't get me wrong.
Proceed to your allocated
I have no
path.
hatred, no animosity towards you. I love you all.
Feel free to relax.
You guys are a great group of people. A lot of ideas here. A lot of good shit. And we got to take that to them. We got to take that to them on the forums. We got to show them, hey, we're still here. We have a voice. We want you to change. We want you to do better. And what is it going to do? Improve the game so that we can get new players. New blood. New blood is what's going to make this game better. Right? New blood. Needs new players, man. Needs new people to come on board. That's a fact. Right? That's a fact.
Landing complete. Solid approach. Our services are at your disposal.
Anyway, I'm almost done with CMM Composite. I'm gonna send it over to the place. I need 50,000. 50,000. I'm almost done with this carrier. 50,000. We'll finish off CMM Composites, and then I'm not in a rush. We still got a long way to go. I got like 3 weeks. But once the bridge is finished, I do plan on having some hubs. Thank you for telling me that, Phaser Ruddock, about the tritium depots. But I'd like to have them marked down, you know, listed somewhere, so that people can know that they're there. Because if they don't know they're there, they're gonna load up a full fleet carrier and just fly toward Colonia completely full. But you know, it's cheaper to have an empty hull. And you get more distance with your tritium than it's to be full. So it kind of takes the wind out of my sail, because I was really hoping to make these tritium depots, but maybe doing something systematic would be better, because I don't know where these places are. I'd have to search for them, you know. But if you know where they are, if you are a Dukes of Myken faction person, and you know where these tritium depots are and these hubs are, please let me know in Discord or here. I really wanted to kind of catalog them and be able to use those locations
Welcome to
for
Drakkster.
various things in the future.
I'm here if you have any questions.
So, let me know, please. Let me know, please. I might establish one of the settlements we did, a T3, as the ground base for our squadron. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to do that one or I'm going to search for one. But trying to get a nebula, like everybody's trying to get a nebula. Everybody gets a nebula. They just shoot for the nebula, they run for the nebula, and they get the nebula. And then there's no more nebulas available. It's like, oh shit. Oh, that nebula's gone. This one's gone. This dark region's gone. Anyway.
Commander?
When they had the Titans, I actually thought we were going to board the Titan. I actually thought we were going to get ground combat in the Titan and fight the Thargoid menace within the Titan. That would have been cool. That would have been good gameplay. But they never had that, actually. Which is a shame. I don't know why they don't code it. Maybe it's a coding issue. Maybe it's a software issue. I don't know why they don't do it. If you know, please let us know. Anyway. 50,000. I need 50,000.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Okay, I'm gonna open up a thread and voice channel at Dangerous Talk if you want to join me. There's a link in the description below. You can join me in chat. And I am here. We can talk. We can share ideas. Wonderful. Okay.
Landing gear retracted.
Landing coupler disengaged. Make way for oncoming traffic.
What I would like also, and is to be able to purchase locations on planets. For instance, let's say you have a high metal content world. It's landable, so you can actually go and land on it, but it's non-colonizable. There's no place to actually put a colony except in orbit. I would like the owner or the architect, because now there's no owners, it's just architects, to be able to purchase a settlement space on the ground. And for instance, I want 5, I'll purchase 5. Why can't those planets be colonized? You know, why can't they be colonized? The only thing I can think of is they're terraformable, so they don't want to colonize something that's terraformable. So that's the only thing I can think of. But I want to be able to buy more space. Like this planet has 3, I want to get 2 more, 5. So I want to be able to buy more space. Kind of like putting a claim for that space. You know, like a land grab. I mean, I wouldn't want a land grab. Yeah.
Incoming message.
Welcome, Commander. Please request docking permission before approaching a landing pad. Access granted. Proceed to your allocated pad, Commander. Docking request confirmed. Assisted approach is go.
Landing gear deployed.
I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Telephone issues. People calling. People calling. 500 million. Wait, what? I mean, colonists. How much income can bring a system at 100% potential? You know what? You don't really get commission from whatever system money the actual system is making. The only thing that I've seen is if it goes to boom or expansion or some kind of shit like that, investment, you get more per week. For that week, you get more that week. Their payment that they give you for colonization. But you don't really get anything from manipulating it or manipulating the market or doing stuff like that. I haven't seen, and I have one system has 400 million people in it, one has 2 billion people in it, and no change in the amount of income, zero change. I'm highly disappointed in that, you know, and I will voice my opinion to that, but I link in Discord for Colonial Bridge system and stations. Okay. You put in Discord? Okay, cool, dude. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, dude. That kind of takes the wind out of myself. I thought I was going to do something unique, and now I'm not. You know? Because, okay, so those are the stations. Are these the tritium depots also? Tritium supply. Yeah, they're weak in tritium, dude. Look at that. That's not a lot of tritium. Yeah. I knew that was going to happen. Yeah, there's one station that has 11. Yeah, there's okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that solves my, so I'm still going to do what I'm going to do. That solves my problem. Because the tritium depots, you gotta build them a certain way so they can give you, like my tritium depot here, one of the stations is. Let me see how much it has in the actual. No, I'm not gonna go there. But it had like 50,000 tons, 100,000 tons of tritium. Okay, so it's not like a small amount. It's actually a very large amount of tritium. So if you do need to load up, you can load up. That's the thing. When I'm saying, Jack, to build a tritium depot is to build a functionally very good one in a major hub that you can stop, fuel, use for your journey. Not just a station that has tritium, but an actual tritium depot that actually has a lot of material. So, and there's ways to do that. You have to design it. You have to actually work on it a little bit. There's ways to pump that. So, I plan to. You know what I mean? I plan to. But a weary traveler, a fleet carrier traveler, he would where would he stop at a tritium depot that for 20,000 tons of tritium, or one that has 200 tons? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know, I see it. So I'll go to those locations, those areas, and see what's available and stuff. But I'll use it as kind of like a road to riches kind of thing. See what I can find. But I'm getting set up, you know, like we were talking about old ships. You know, I'm going to even take an adder. My adder goes 600 now. It boosts to 600. I just fixed it to boost to 600. Think about that. I'm going to take an Asp Explorer, a Crate Phantom, Mandalay, a Kestrel Explorer. I've made a Kestrel Explorer. And the love of my life for exploration of DBX. Which I had that kit that went for sale at the store. I bought it like 3-4 years ago. I don't know when I bought it. I still have the old kit. That's the exploration kit. So, because I get bored, so I'm gonna swap out ships every time I can. I'll get bored flying the same shit over and over again. I gotta see what paint jobs I have for the adder, man. I was looking for this one paint job. It was so cool, but I think it was in the CG, and now it's no longer available. But yeah, so my adder boosts to 600. Has a 55 light year jump range. And you know the adder's small as hell, so it lands anywhere. That's what's cool about it. But hey, I want to thank you for that info. You know what I mean? So this is called Brewer Logistics Stations. The Brewer Logistics Stations. Are these locations for what is CB? I see CB next to it. What does that mean? CB. Is that the player faction? It says CB. Colonial base. Wow, look how far out, man. 15,000 light years. 20,000 light years. Wow. Wow. That's pretty far out. Colonial Bridge, right. Could be, yeah. Yeah, but what did the Dukes do? Did the Dukes set up locations like that? Did they, the guys who were running the faction, did they set up locations like that? And why didn't they publish it so we know that it's there, so we can just go there and load up? Because like, for instance, this guy Kicks, he's never going to actually fly a Caspian up there. He's going to use his fleet carrier and go with his fleet carrier to Colonia. So, and he actually suggested it, actually. He's like, why don't you build tritium depots along the route that they have?
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
I think I have 20 or 30 or 40,000 tons available of tritium in the Drakkster's smelter. I'm not exactly sure how much. Let me look at it. Let's see. I don't know how many. I don't actually know how much. I know it's a lot because every time I go, I just load up and go. So, I know it's a lot. Okay, so Drakkster's smelter. And we have market. And the market says tritium. Right. So here's the point. And for everybody listening right now, Colonia Bridge, Jack. I looked at it, right? And it's a good start. Right? It's a good start. It has a lot of stations, but not a lot of tritium. Okay, the way I designed my tritium depot here in my little bubble, it has 139,000 supply, and it's selling below the market value, 49,000. Okay, so that's my tritium depot here in our little bubble. Okay, because that's I did the smelter. I said, okay, let me do the extraction part also. And I did, that's why the actual tritium came in. And then the actual cost of it is reduced because of so much extraction. So there's demand is low, supply is high. Right? So that's my little gift. That's Drakkster's smelter, which is also a refinery. It also has the tritium there, Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. Hold on a second. You're right. Forgive me. I forget that I'm actually streaming sometimes. But I'm glad you're here to tell me that I fucked up. Window capture. And smelter. Okay, so here's Drakkster's smelter, right? And I set it up initially as a refinery, but then I added extraction shit to it so that I can actually get the tritium to where I wanted to be. So if you notice over here, and I needed tritium because you see how many times I fly back and forth with the squadron, with the fleet carriers. So I'm always fueling up the fleet carriers, 1,000 tons at a time, right? So here's the tritium depot, more or less, 139,000 tons, selling at 49,000 a ton. Okay, that's my tritium depot. So I set it up as a refinery extraction, right? So the ice rings that are out there, I actually have extraction hubs pulling shit out of it, so that's why it pumps this tritium depot. So that's kind of what I want to build out there. You get my point? So that when they're flying in with their fleet carriers, they don't have to think about how much tritium that the station has. They know that it's going to have plenty. So that's what I want to do. That's my thinking. In any case, it doesn't have to be every mile. Just like every 4,200 miles. You know, number 42, that's the answer to the secrets of the universe, right? So for every 4,200 light years, there'll be a hub like that. And there'll be everything you need in that one spot. You get my point? This way it's guaranteed. The thing that my mindset is guaranteed. It's guaranteed. It's there as a guarantee. Say, fuck, I know I'm not gonna find tritium at this other place, but I know at this tritium depot I will. So it's a guarantee that they're gonna have it there. So that's my point. Since I've been doing so much colonization, I can figure things out a little bit better than the average Joe, right? And I don't need Megan's 100-page dissertation on colonization. So I think I can build something really good for people to use, right? And for the squadron to use, for you, for Kicks, for etc., etc.
Frameshift drive charging.
That's my joy. But 139,000 tons of tritium is better than 400 tons of tritium. And it's just probably only going to be 3 of them, because I don't think the Dukes got further than about 16,000 light years. I'm not exactly sure. What Phaser? Do you know how far the Dukes got? How far they got to Colonia? Did they get? All I know is like they're like at 12 to 15,000. I don't know for sure. Thank you, Hawk. And I believe me, man. I love you. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're voicing your opinion. I want you to be vocal, dude. I want us to start a coalition. I want us to pump up the fucking ideas on the suggestion boards, on the forums. I want them to change the game. I want new blood. And I want this game to last for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad you're here, buddy. I'm thinking about taking my Caspian out to that location, by the way, because I have one in Colonia. I could do fast travel to Colonia, and then fly my Caspian that's there to the new station. So I was thinking about doing that, but then I wanted to haul because I had 4 fleet carriers I had to empty out.
Clearance granted. Move directly to your landing pad. Docking request confirmed. Assisted approach is go.
Yeah, 139,000 tons of tritium, liquid oxygen 249, hydrogen fuel cells 126, explosives 562,000 tons. You know, one of the things they don't do, just to make you laugh, but seriously speaking, how can you build a space settlement without coffee? How can you do that? That's like an abomination. You know, at least 100 tons of coffee. that you deliver to the station, because you're sitting there in space for thousands and thousands of hours. You're gonna be drinking a lot of coffee. Yeah. Why don't they put that as part of the construction? Yeah, the Dukes of Myken. You don't know anything about it, huh? It's okay. I know. Ogilby knows, but I don't know what constructions they do. And some of the constructions I've seen so far, I'm probably gonna end up not having any materials going up there. So I'm probably gonna have to carry it with me. What was I doing? So we'll see. They're pretty far, dude. There is a map from Canon. They went very far. They're very far. They're very far. They do have a Discord, but I'm not. I try to find. I don't know what their names are in Discord, but I haven't joined it. But I'm probably gonna ask James, one of our kind of I would say our allies, because we have allies. But I'm gonna ask James if he knows their Discord and shit. Hey, it's all for the common good. If my shit helps them, that's great. If their shit helps me, that's great. So it's all for the common good. Emergency power cells they were going crazy about. Remember that? Actually, if you check emergency power cells here at Drakkster's Forge, I have over, I think, 2 million or some shit like that. But they were going crazy over the materials.
If you want to know
And
more about
everything,
our
I have
ships, just
everything
ask.
here
Wonderful.
except
Let
one
no
thing,
rush.
water. I do have a station I can get water at, but only 400 tons at a time because it's a T1. So in the future, I will be building something so I can get the water, just for the water. Can you believe that? I need 7,000 tons of water for the Dodec. So I have to go to a nearby settlement, still ours, still mine, but I have to get the water from there. So I don't like doing that. I want everything to be in one place.
Choosing Interastra.
Yep. I gotta get a cup of coffee. Yep. Damn it. AFK for a second.
message.
This port operates on strict regulations and is guarded by ground defenses. If port law is breached, we will be forced to take punitive measures. Please consider other surface vehicles when navigating the main thoroughfares. Blocking critical pathways is a violation of port protocols.
Alright, I'm back. I'm back. Let's see what we said here. Squad challenge to build a system with everything you need to build other sites. It is a little bit. I built a system with most of the stuff needed. Refinery, extraction industry, high tech and agriculture. Most important is the refinery economy for metals. Agreed. But did it have water? That's an easy fix. I think the dodeck that I'm building is over an ice world, isn't it? Let me see. All I have to do is build one agricultural spot there, and I'll have the water in my dodeck. FYI. I don't know how I got Outbreak here. I got a fucking hospital somewhere in the system. Somewhere around here there's a hospital. How did I have Outbreak? Are these guys from the Dukes trying to manipulate my system here? Who's got the Outbreak? I only have 3 people here. 3 factions. Let's see the construction. I think it's over a water world. Not water world, ice planet. Come on. I think it's over ice planet. Let's see. So here's the construct. Yeah, it's ice. So the planet that has the 5 spot, you see, is ice. Here's the dodeck. There's the planet, has 5 spots. And the info on this is an ice world. Water ice. So dodeck will have water ice. And if I manipulate it, 2 refineries, 2 high tech. Actually, 2 refineries, 1 high tech, 1 water, and a ground base. And I'll have myself everything I need in these 2 spots. Plus, I can also go agriculture on these ones, these over here, and they'll manipulate the water on that station. Or maybe build a ground settlement here, make water here. So there's a few places I can do stuff with, but this system can be that, can be everything. So it's a good location, I think. In my opinion. I had to get a cup of coffee. Very nice. Let's get going. Let's finish up this and send the ship so I can pluck it. I can unload. And then maybe I can do some other things besides colonization. Today I did colonization all day. Phaser rod, I can tell you, I had like 4 fleet carriers in that system, full to the brim with stuff. And I actually brought another one in with 25,000 tons of titanium, which I offloaded earlier. So that was daunting. But I don't mind. I don't mind, right? I don't mind at all. But I want to be able to have, and I keep saying the same thing, I just want to have the button just in case. Just in case I can't finish it. I don't want to lose the progression. Think about it. It's like 207, is it 274,000 tons of cargo, and you got almost there, and then you have to just start over. That's fucking nuts. Yeah, I know, man. I don't even know if you could have, because I don't think I put up for sale. Yes, I don't even know if you could have. But I got it done. No big deal. I did dual box. 2 accounts, 2 computers. If you're listening, FDev, that's not against your EULA. So I did 2 shit, you know, because you basically just clicking and just letting it fly towards the place. So it's not really like heavy duty flying. So I used 2 accounts to offload all that shit. So it was like I think 80,000 tons. You know what I mean? I'm good with it. I am getting the itch to do manufacturer instructions. Get these guys some manufacturer instructions. Are you all good, Phaser? You're good with your suits and stuff? Are you ready for the operations? I don't know if you're gonna join us or you're gonna join your other buds, your other friends. It'd be nice, maybe we can get like a big group together. But I don't know how the peer-to-peer is gonna handle it. That's the biggest problem this game has, I think, right now. Is the peer-to-peer thing. It dropped me like 2 times, 3 times. I went Blackadder completely. Like, my goodness. And I was riding the VPN, so it shouldn't have dropped me at all. But Joey got dropped, I got dropped. No plans yet? Okay. Yeah, if you want plenty of materials on Squadron Carrier, man, just hook up your suit. You need manufacturing instructions, let me know. I'll hook you up. You know I'm a crack addict when it comes to that mushroom satellite. I gotta have it. I gotta have it. I gotta have the crack. Oh my god. Okay. What did I do? Where did I go, man? Holy shit, I went that far out? Man. Well, that didn't take 5 minutes. When I do podcasts, it takes longer than 5 minutes. But I'm by myself and I'm running escape pod method, it's 5 minutes. 5 minutes of time. 5 minutes at a time. And I get into a groove. I start putting on some music and I get into a groove. Which is cool. Where did I go? Jesus.
Welcome, Commander. Please request docking permission before approaching a landing pad. Permission granted. A landing pad has been assigned to you. Docking request confirmed. Assisted approach is go.
Okay, Jack, you were talking about boom, like with the Suntil relics. Boom, expansion, and Silver Liberty 600. So that means there's got to be 3 factions. The out of the 7 that are in Boom, expansion, and Silver Liberty, or the same faction is dealing with the 3. So I don't know. Is that 3 different factions or the same faction that owns the station to the Suntil relics? I was hoping we'd get Suntil relics this today, actually. But it doesn't look like we did. Yep. Still 16. So same faction that owns the station, they have to be Boom, expansion, and civil. How'd they do that at the same time? How are they gonna manage that at the same time? That makes
Welcome to our carrier, Commander.
I mean, I'm sure they can, but I'm not sure how they do that. Really? Huh. Well, that's nice. What am I doing? Anyway. Getting tired. Well, that might be a long time from now. Because, I think they just took over the station. I think they just took over the station. Yeah.
No gravity. Magnetic contact active.
Amazing. Okay, they're at 41%. Here's what I'm looking at. So I'm going by previous numbers that they actually did. And right now, they're at 41%. Let me show you here, this graph. They're not in any state, but at 43, at 40, no, actually 43, they went into boom last time. Okay. So let's see what happens. We gotta keep an eye on it because I'd like to do some Suntil runs. They're very highly profitable, merit-wise. Getting tired. Yeah, so they're 41% now. Previous numbers they were at 46, 47, and they hit Suntul Relics. They hit the run. So maybe we'll get another trial at Suntul Relics.
If you need any advice, just we've got a wide range of ship. Take all the time you need.
Take all the time you need. Thank you very much. I think I will. Merit miner. I want to go merit mine too. But I've been building the station. You see, if I take the cost of it, the hours at 1,200, I'd rather spend $30 and bypass that. That's the thing. That's me. You don't have to. You don't have to do anything with this game. Nobody has to do anything with this game. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is another type of Thargoid person that we've noticed. This person and the guy with the yellow shoes. This guy. You see how they're tall and they're fit and all that? So these guys, this guy was at a door here, and I bumped him, and he put his fingers up like he was going to shoot me. If he had a gun, he would have shot me. Here. All right. There we go. Now you can see me. Sorry about that. Boom state is an economy state, and civil liberty is a security state in BGS. Yeah, Jack, BGS and me is like, I might as well be retarded. I wouldn't know what to do with BGS. I wouldn't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do with it now. The guys are asking, who's our minor faction? Who's our minor I don't know. Do you want to put one up? Jack, why don't you put up a minor faction in the squadron? Because I don't know who to put. I don't know who following. I want our own faction. I want our own name. You know what I mean? I want our own faction.
At maximum capacity.
I missed that, man. I missed that part where you started your own faction. Remember that? Your own player faction? I wonder if they'll bring that back. So Boom is an economic state, civil liberty security state.
Ship released. You are clear for departure.
No new player MFs allowed these days. Motherfuckers. Minor faction MFers. No new minor. No, you're thinking minor factions, and I'm thinking motherfuckers. Oh goodness, it's the little things.
Speed restrictions lifted. Take care out there, Commander.
Okay, let's go.
Frameshift drive Charging.
I'm phasing out here. I'm gonna have to go to sleep soon.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Okay.
Incoming message.
And that's my clipper. Okay. Well, that was a good conversation, guys. I do appreciate good conversation. Keeps me up. Keeps me going.
Hello, Commander.
You know?
Please stay aware of other ships around
I
the
like it.
area.
Commander Pereira says wave to say hi. Let's wave. Wave, hello. Hello, Commander. Somebody stopped by to say hi. That's cool.
Access granted.
Okay, guys.
Proceed to allocated pad, Commander.
I'm actually gonna kill the stream here.
Docking request
I need to do a
confirmed.
couple of
Assist to the
things
bridge
because
is
tomorrow's
good.
a work day. And it's been fun talking to you guys. I'm gonna pump whatever we talked about here. We're gonna keep going, and I'm gonna actually put on the forums eventually. Only problem with doing that, I got like a little bit of a hang up doing that because these guys can be so brutal on the forums. You know, they can be so damn brutal. So anyway, I really appreciate you guys being here. Really thank you for stopping by. 07 Commanders. Stay frosty, fly dangerous. Take care.